Hello and a warm welcome to Federal's special program, Capital Beat. It's been an agonizing wait for the 41 laborers who have been trapped inside the Silkyara tunnel in Uttarkashi in Uttarakhand. It's day 9th of the rescue operation because the tunnel collapsed on November 12th. And according to the interactions of the families of these laborers with the media, the voices of these laborers who are trapped have become weaker, their strength is dimming. Government, we are told, has embarked upon a 5-point plan according to which there'll be a horizontal and a vertical drilling. US auger machines have been deployed. International tunneling expert Arnold Dix is on the job. But through this discussion today, we'll try and find out what is the scale of this rescue operation which is underway. Has the government really faltered? And what is the hope left for these laborers who were on the construction of a tunnel which is part of the Char Dham project? Joining me now are prominent voices. Indresh Mekhuri, who's the State Secretary of the CPIML Uttarakhand. Thank you so much. We have Jai Singh Rawat, who's a senior journalist from Uttarakhand. Thank you so much, Mr. Rawat. And Sujata Paul, who is the Congress spokesperson, also joins us. Thank you so much, Sujata. And let me begin with Jai Singh Rawat. Mr. Rawat, what is the latest position and what is the latest update you're hearing as far as the rescue operations on the Silkyara tunnel is concerned? Yes, Mr. Rawat.
Yes, certainly the rescue work is going on war footing. The world technologies are being applied here to rescue these trapped laborers. But, the prevention is better than the cure. It could have been done much earlier. It is very clear that there were no security safety measures were taken in the beginning, at the time of construction. At the time of nobody was there to check the work being done by this company. Now engineering company. Who is this? National Highway Infrastructure Development Corporation is a government agency, and this contract was awarded to Navyug Engineering Company. And who is the responsible? The government company was responsible to check the safety measures, whether the safety measures are being taken or not. But nobody was there. Even in the escape tunnel is the must. At the time of the construction construction of the this tunneling, there are so many maybe tunneling surprises there, but nobody was there to observe this. So this is serious, criminal negligence in the part of the government agencies as well. This Navyug company.
But Mr. Rawat, I'm told that there were several setbacks, and now the center has said that they will provide the equipments and the resources. Now, the latest infrastructure which has been deployed in rescuing these laborers, do you think that it would be possible, as what Nitin Gadkari just said, that in about 2 or 2.5 days, the laborers could be rescued? But what is it realistically? Do you think that you're hopeful really of the laborers coming out after the center, what the center has promised?
In fact, they are working on multi-pronged strategies. But now they have started drilling from the top of the hills to reach the stuck laborers in the tunnel. But I don't know. Today, when Mr. Rick, he's internationally renowned tunnel expert. He has reached there, and then the PMO people they are halting at that site. But the problem that this is it should have been done in the beginning. That the carelessness, the carelessness of the ignorance about the government agency and as well this Navyug company, and we have hundreds of tunnels are being excavated in Himalayas, especially in Uttarakhand. I have written one article, I think in 2002 or so. There were 700 kilometer tunnels proposed or under construction or completed only in Uttarakhand, Himalaya. Now they've again further the Rishikesh Karnataka tunnel. Its proper length is 105 kilometers. But they need more tunnels to excavate a main tunnel. The edit is required, the escape tunnel is required, and that is the network of tunnels in the hills. But I don't know. Safety measures are being taken or not. Nobody is there to care of.
Right. And you said that it's a criminal negligence. But before I go further on how the safety measures have been compromised, there are no protocols, no guidelines seem to be in place for the construction of these tunnels. I want to go to Sujata. Sujata, today the leader of the opposition also went there. What are you hearing from the families of these laborers who are there? What is the latest position? I'm told that these laborers are surviving on dry fruits. Some water is being sent to them through a pipe. Rice puffs is something which they are given to eat. Now, what is the latest you've heard from the families? Any word on that?
Yes. The situation there is pretty serious, because what we are not considering is the multi-level, action that should be taken, keeping the laborers in mind, keeping the laborers who are trapped in mind, not about how to take them out. That is one aspect. They're working on that. But what I am appalled at is that there are these people who are trapped in there since the day of Diwali, and their family members have begun to reach the place. And these people are basically from Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha, West Bengal, Himachal Pradesh, even from Assam, Uttar Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. There are two people from Uttarakhand, one from Himachal Pradesh. And the irony is that the company had released the list of 40 people, and then suddenly, I started hearing that there were only 36 people. If you look at the administrative reports, there were 36. And then when I started asking a lot of reporters who were at the ground as to how that was happening, then they started questioning the administration there, and they said, no, there are 40 people. After that, they also came up with this 41st person who was there, and a fresh list was released. Now the problems that they are facing is
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sujata, but what you're saying is that the agencies and the administration who is working there doesn't even have a proper head count of the laborers who are trapped. Is that what you're pointing out?
Absolutely. And this is a matter of huge concern, because the first time that I raised my voice regarding this was on Diwali day, when I got to know about it. And I waited, because there was not much information coming through the day. And then by evening, when I realized that things were not right, and there wasn't much media mobilization also because of Diwali also. But can you imagine what could have happened if this was not a holiday? Can you imagine if it was not Diwali and all the laborers were working? I dread to think. And the ones who are there, can you also imagine the kind of trauma that they are going through? These are people who are used to hearty meals because they are laborers. And this was happening early in the morning. First, if it is a gazetted holiday on Diwali, how come these workers were there? Secondly, if these workers have not really got enough food, what has been done in addition to just having a conversation or communication with them? Are these people, I'm sorry if I'm using very strong words, but I feel that they are lunatic if they can't understand that they needed psychiatrists over there to talk to them and to listen to what the conversation between those people and people outside were having. Because you really do need to take into account the fact that these people are trapped in an area of, they are saying, about 1.5 kilometers, because from Barkot area, the tunnel has not reached that particular point. So know what initially, of course, a lot of people couldn't understand what the situation was, but these guys are trapped in an area which is a longish kind of area. So they're saying about 2 kilometers, and from my resources on the ground, I've come to know that that's only about 1.5 kilometers, which is good enough. Now the food was being sent in small packets earlier, using compressed air. So compressed air means that if you're sending popcorn or peanuts or dry fruits or puffed rice, can you imagine what must be happening? It must be getting scattered all over the place. These guys must be collecting it, and that's how they must be having it. And 41 people over there, the trauma that they're going through, they know that it's a matter of survival for them. Has the administration taken into account all these things? No, because I have got no information regarding this. People outside, the laborers, the other laborers who are there, because there are a total of about 800 laborers working. And what they are saying is that we are trying to keep their morale up, but we don't know how to do it, because inside they're losing hope now, and we keep telling them that the government is working and they are making every effort to get you out. Things will be okay and you will be out, and that's and we are going to send in more food. People inside have been telling the ones outside that they are hungry. There are relatives who are reaching there, and the trauma that they are going through is huge. But is any anything being done about it for people outside? No, because what I am appalled about, another aspect is that when VIP movement is happening, there is a whole lot of preparation happening, in the sense that they've got this tentage over there, and then they have this red carpet. Why do ministers need red carpet at this point of time? I want to ask Mr. Nitin Gadkari. He's responsible for this whole Chardham project. When General VK Singh came, and one person who you can hear during the press conference saying that he's a civil engineer, and I'm sorry, I'm taking a little long, but this will get your viewers to know what exactly is happening there. That he's a civil engineer as well as a lawyer, and he wanted to ask a question. General VK Singh said that he was not a media guy, so he would talk to him later. You know very well whether he would have spoken to him. Why is the government not being transparent about this? Then when Mr. Nitin Gadkari arrived over there, you'll be shocked at what these guys are saying. Both the ministers have said that this entire thing which is happening is in an area where the hills are young, meaning the Himalayas are young, old mountains, which all of us know. Then General VK Singh very categorically said that we are facing these problems because it has loose soil and stones. It does not have too much of rock. So what are you trying to do? You admit that these are young coal mountains, and yet a company like Navyuga, what kind of experience did it have? We don't really know. It's what I found is that they've done something on the Bombay-Pune Expressway. 2 tunnels is what they've made. That's all that I've found about them. This is a Hyderabad-based company, and if you go through it, they have cases of arbitration against them. The government of Karnataka in the Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation matter also did not want them there after they had started work. So, and in Andhra Pradesh, from where they come, there also they have cases on them. So what kind of company was this? And should the preparedness not have been in advance? You are sending a group of people later on. This should have been done much earlier. I'll come to some more points a little later.
No, very significant facts you've pointed out. And, the next question which comes to my mind, Indresh, is that whenever this tunneling happens, and so many tunnels are being dug in the hills, and especially as part of the Chardham Yatra, I don't know how many tunnels have been dug. But do we actually come to know the reality? How many laborers have collapsed? How many laborers have died inside the tunnel? Now that, after this collapse of this Silkyara tunnel has happened, apparently it looks like that the government is just not prepared to handle a situation where the laborers have been trapped. So is there any protocol? Is there any guideline as to how to rescue these laborers? It seems that the government is just, trying to clutch some straws in the wind. It has no idea that if the laborers get trapped in a tunnel like this, what to do at all. They seem to be starting everything from the scratch. Doesn't it look like that?
Yes, of course it looks like that. And it seems that they have no particular idea, no definite idea about the rescue operation. And to point out, on the day one, there was only one JCB machine outside the tunnel. There was no other thing available there. On day two, they started. Now, when general VK Singh, and the days are continuously being increased. Every day, they said only 2 or 3 days more. We need 2 days more. When on the second day, that is after 24 hours, the superintendent of police of Uttarkashi said they will be rescued in 24 hours. Then when General VK Singh visited on the 5th day, he said 2 more days are required and we'll rescue them. Now, yesterday, Mr. Nitin Gadkari was there, and he again said on the 8th day that 2 more days are required. So they keep on increasing this, they keep on raising the bar, and that's all what is they are doing. And yesterday, what I heard Mr. Gadkari speaking, he was saying that Himalayas are uncertain. You know, this strata is very uncertain. Himalayas are developing mountains, they are new mountains. So, and even the managing director of NHIDCL, he was saying same.
No, but
thing.
it's a new mountain.
So
Why not it take a big project like Char Dham project?
Yes, that is what the question is. That when did you come to know that the Himalayas are uncertain? When the tunnel collapsed, then you came to know that Himalayas are uncertain, or people knew it right from the beginning, right from the inception of this project. People have been questioning, those who were concerned, they have been questioning. And there was a long litigation in the Supreme Court of India. And finally, the Supreme Court said, although it allowed the project on the pretext of defense and this thing, but the Supreme Court has said that the project should adopt sustainable measures. So where were these sustainable measures? And this is not the first time. As you said you asked in your question, this is not the first time. This is that the large number of laborers have been trapped here in Uttarkashi for 8 days, 9 days now. But in 2018 also, in Rudraprayag Gaurikund Highway at Banswara, 7 workers were killed. The debris fall down on them and they were killed there. And police at that time said that security measures were not in place. Security instruments were not there. It was said way back in 2018. In 2020, a house collapsed due to this excavation of this project, and 3 children were killed in that house. So this has been happening. This is a regular phenomenon. And they are saying that this project is being made for defense purposes, and when there's no rainfall, and there's no earthquake, nothing doing, there is landslide. On 2nd of this month, 2nd November, there was landslide and this road was blocked for 2 days, 2 whole days. There was no rain, bright sunshine was there, and still it was blocked for 2 days. So, and it was, to point one more thing, the Supreme Court formed a high power committee in 2018 regarding this project. And what the high power committee had certain differences between the official members and the expert members. But unanimously, the high power committee said that this project, the hill cutting is being done in a very unscientific manner. It is being done in a very unplanned manner. They have developed new sliding zones throughout this project. And so this is the sorry state of affairs which we are seeing. And now, since last 9 days, 41 laborers have been trapped. They are facing the situation of life and death. That is what we are facing, we are seeing.
Indresh, from what you and Sujata have just spoken, does it look like that, you know, the government has realized its mistake and it knows that it doesn't have anything in hand except to give false hope to the people of the country and to the families of these laborers? Is it just giving a false hope and no way can these laborers come out?
Well, we hope that they should come out. We pray that they should come out. That is only what we can do. But as far as the agencies are concerned, what people on the ground are saying, what other laborers who are outside the tunnel are saying, they are saying that these people are just experimenting on them. They are doing nothing else. And we hear a lot about this disaster management. But what apparently we see is disaster management is, what is disaster management on ground? In the times of disaster, it is headline management, and that's all, nothing more than that. That is what we are seeing on the ground. That is what is being seen.
Right. No, but even if headlines are being managed, Mr. Rawat, I would want to come to you now, that what kind of a media coverage have you really seen? Because, I mean, all these days, In between, we had a Chhattisgarh election, a Madhya Pradesh election. Then you had a World Cup. How much was media actually focusing on this tunnel collapse? I want to know from you. What is a realistic picture?
The cricket is the first in the agenda of media. Everybody knows. Then the politics, then the crime, and then in the last, these human stories in the last. See, this is the unfortunate part of my profession, our profession. We are focusing on sensation, for TRP, for readership, and for all that. But we are, we're not doing properly our job. See, here, yesterday, what the minister was saying that the Himalaya is the youngest mountain in the world, and that they have the loose rocks in Uttarakhand, Himalaya, tunneling. First, the geological exploration is done, then geological investigation is done, then the DPR is made, prepared, then the contract is awarded. So they should have done it in the understood in the beginning. This is the loose rock. This is the youngest mountain, and at the time of investigation, what investigation has been done in this matter? So I'm going to see this, negligence.
It's very clear that the government is not doing any kind of mapping as far as these hills and mountains are concerned.
Nothing.
As to which hill should you dig up so that it's safe, and especially for the people who are digging the tunnel, how safe they are. Nothing of this sort, as far as the preparations are concerned, has been done by anybody in the government. Mr. Rawat?
No safety measures in the tunnel, and no safety measures above the tunnels. You must have seen Josimath is on that Vishnuprayag Tapovan tunnel. That was a very controversial tunnel. And the same way, the chai village of just in front of Josimath, it was creeping. The land was creeping there a few years ago because of that tunnel, Vishnuprayag project tunnel. So this is everywhere. This is Rishikesh Karnaprayag tunnel is creating another havoc for several villages. Indresh has spoken to you. The Sari village, the Sugi village, and several of the other villages are sinking, or the cracks are being developed in their houses. So this is the problem for we people in, not only in Garhwal or Kumaon, but all over the Himalayas.
Absolutely.
Right. Yesterday, what he said, the minister said that the tunnels are being constructed at the cost of 2.5 lakh crores in Himalayas now. It means the network of tunnel, Himalaya is in tunnels, going into tunnels now. But no safety measures are being taken by them.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
We need electricity, we need development, we need everything. But we need our safety also. We need our environmental also.
One cannot, no government can justify that they carry on their infrastructure projects at the cost of the lives of the laborers who are putting in their hard efforts. But Sujata, the government is also trying to project, as what Mr. Rawat said, and Indresh also said, that they're managing headlines. They're saying that this is one of the biggest rescue operations in the world. Now, I think I read it somewhere, and I heard someone saying that, is that true, that this is one of the biggest rescue operations which the world is going to see? You'll have to unmute yourself, Sujata. Just unmute yourself. Yeah. All right.
Yes. They might be saying whatever they want to, but let me also make it very clear that this is all for media management, headline management, and people management. Because if you remember, the argument that is always given when it comes to central projects is that please don't come up with your environmental issues. And whenever we are screaming about the environment, the government says that your people will get jobs. How many people from Uttarakhand are trapped in there? That will give you an indication of how many people are getting jobs from here. And why are they doing that? Look at how clever they are. And Mr. Mercury belongs to the CPIML, and he will bear with what I'm saying, that it is a very clever move that you get a project from outside, have the least number of people over there, because they will ensure that they get their holidays. They will ensure that the norms are maintained. They will say that whenever there are holidays or festivals, they need to go home. But when people are traveling from as far as Assam or Bihar or Jharkhand, it'll be okay for them to continue over here, and their relatives will be so far away that supposing this was not of the magnitude that it has happened, this catastrophe, then can you imagine how many people would actually reach over here? So management at various levels is being done by the government when it does not give jobs to people of that particular area where they take the central projects. And it's really amazing that one of the ministers, or a local minister, he apparently has said something about, or one of their spokesperson has apparently said that there are not too many people from Uttarakhand. What do you mean by that? These are all our people. And even if they were from abroad, I mean, they would be human beings, right? And we can't expect them to be talking like this. But there are a few things that I want you to, want your viewers to know, that there has been no FIR registered till now. And when this question was asked of General VK Singh, can you even imagine what he said? He said, we'll think about that later. I mean, this is a government that we are talking about. We are talking about a government which is the government of India, all-powerful government, and they're not doing it. And why this has come into the news now is because elections were happening. And let us not forget that from the list of names, and if you go through that list of names, there are tribals in there. And when our chief minister was dancing at an Adivasi festival for 3 days, it was conducted for 3 days in Uttarakhand. At that time, there were these tribals who were there.
You're talking about
Yes.
Dhami.
Yes, Mr. Pushkar Singh Dhami, and not just him. There were elections in Chhattisgarh, which is a hugely tribal state. So obviously, if you go through the names, there is one Murmu name. So obviously, there are people from Jharkhand who have some connection with Chhattisgarh also, and they are tribals also. And it seems like Mr. Modi wanted elections of this particular phase to get over before this was spoken about. Mr. Modi goes to watch a cricket match, but he is not bothered about these people. See, it's all very well to say that there are ministers.
It's only on the 9th day that he has spoken to the chief minister on the phone.
No, they did say that he had spoken to the chief minister on the first day itself, but that probably went unnoticed because that's how they wanted it to be. They didn't want people to be talking about it. And, blasting in the hills is something that even the Britishers never did. And here I would like to point out that this government is so inefficient. I've written 3 emails to the secretary of the DCL and to the DM of Uttarkashi, to the chief secretary of Uttarakhand. Not one person out of these 3 has responded or even acknowledged that they have received the mail. It clearly means that they don't really care. They just think that the government has such a huge mandate. The officers will do what they feel like. The officers need to be told.
But
and I would like, yes.
What is intriguing is that why do you think that this government has such an apathetic attitude? Is it because these are poor laborers? It doesn't matter too much for the government. They come from poor states like Jharkhand, Odisha, and other places. Is that the reason why the government is trying to neglect all of this? And they think that, they can do anything and get away?
Char Dham project has been touted to be the Prime Minister's dream project. And the environmentalists have been screaming their lungs out that these are young coal mountains. You cannot build tunnels in them like you would probably do in the mountains in South America or elsewhere, or Europe for that matter. But the government has not listened to them. And Mr. Ravi Chopra, who was part of the monitoring committee, had even resigned. Of course, whatever excuse he might have given before that, there was information when he was saying that when these people have a meeting, the officers have a meeting, they don't call me. And he was the chairman of that committee. So you can understand that the government has a huge mandate, and they have planned it out in such a manner that laborers are coming from outside majorly. So if they don't listen, to the environmentalists, it really doesn't matter, and they will go ahead with it. Now, I feel extremely upset that at such a time also, I think suo-motu cognizance should have been taken by the courts when such a huge disaster has happened, because it was the Honorable Supreme Court which said that they cannot interfere in development projects. But when development projects are going to, becoming a cause of ruination, and I have some data for you, which is from the state disaster management, and this is old data, you know very well, they don't give data now. So from 2015 to 2020, and this is data which I found on the Indian Express page of 15th August 2021, where they have said that landslides in 2015, from there in the next 5 years, it had increased by 2,900%. I'm not saying 29%, not saying 290%, 2,900%, because 33 landslides had happened in 2015 and 972 landslides happened in 2020. And we have seen the kind of landslides that have been happening. So you can imagine that most of our hills are coming down, they're crumbling. And, like Mr. Mekuri was mentioning that incident, this is becoming like a graveyard for a number of people who are working there and dying, and nobody's even bothered, because they're poor people. Because and that's why I spoke about that red carpet. Can you imagine, they're poor people and their relatives are all around the place, but the minister has to have a shamiana poured, a red carpet treatment given to him. Can you imagine what those people must be going through, that our lives have no value? And I know from the from ground reports that this is how the laborers are feeling. They're feeling that the government only wants to do in their words, a fita cutting, and they are trying to manage everything, saying that everything is fine, but things are not fine over there. I want you to know about this letter of 18th April 2019, written by Subhash Jaguri, and it is the letter that I have, it has a receiving also. It is a letter by Subhash Jaguri, who is supposedly the Pradhan, the Gram Pradhan of Polgaon. And what he had done was, he had mentioned this, and he had said that there are a whole lot of there's a whole lot of negligence happening over here, and he had written to Up Jila Adhikari Barkot, and the Vishay was Surang Nirman Company Dwara Manako ke Vipreet kiye ja rahe कार्यों के संबंध में. I'm not going into details of those. Now, the first information, which I'm just giving you two more details which I've got. The first note which came out was on the 17th of November, after General V.K. Singh came, because the press started saying that these people are not giving us information. And this was not a press note. They called it a report on rescue operation being carried out for collapsed Silkyara Barkot tunnel. And amazing what they have written in the introduction itself. And I'm reading out one line, the last line over here. They've written that it would, this tunnel building would, they're justifying it, this tunnel building would reduce the distance by 26 kilometers and 1 hour of travel time. Then they also write the existing road, if was widened, if was not widened, would have completely, the road on top instead of the tunnel, if it was widened, it would have destroyed the rich flora and fauna of the Radi top mountains with thick cover of rhododendron vegetation. Can you see how they are trying to justify it? That we had to build this. I mean, why are you building it if you know that it's going to be coming down? And even now we are hearing of cracks which are happening. And, I will send you this particular report. You can go through it because it's very, very important. And there is another one which has come out last evening at 5 p.m. where they have mentioned that it is, what other things they are going to be doing. So from the 12th, what happened on the 12th, they've jumped to the 17th and said that now we are working on 5 fronts. You've spoken about Mr. Dick, so I'm not going into that. But now there is a DRDO team which is also going to be using its robotics, which has also reached there and is working. So now they are trying to enter from that area by removing the debris, which they said earlier was 30 meters. Now they are saying it is 60 meters. So you can understand that they couldn't even analyze what work they had to do. Secondly, the drilling is happening from the vertical drilling will be happening from the top and from the other side.
Also.
Yes, from the Barcode side. That side also they've started it. So the BRO has been called in. The NHIDC is already there. The Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam Limited.
About multiple agencies are there.
Yes, and the Rail Vikas Nigam Limited also. So everybody is there. But, it's like a medical treatment being given in a very haphazard manner, not knowing what to do.
Right.
And my major concern is the laborers who are trapped in there and their mental health at the moment. Yes.
Absolutely. And you already pointed out that there are no psychiatrists to, counsel the families. We do not know about the mental health. And obviously, they must be having such anxious moments, whether the laborers will be alive or dead. But Indresh, coming to you now for the concluding remarks, it does look like a grave and a big compromise with the safety measures. With the security measures as far as the laborers are concerned. We still do not know how many laborers have already died in this particular tunnel which was being dug up. But what happens really if there is some further collapse? And the experts have pointed out that there is a risk that when you do more digging, there is, of course, a risk of further collapse happening. Now, how much of the hope is really left for the laborers in that case?
Well, with every passing day, the hope fades. The ray of hope fades. It is a saying that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But where is the end of the tunnel? It is yet to be seen. And actually, we need to understand that what is this project all about? It is not being a new road being constructed. It is actually already a road was there. It is a road widening project of 12,000 crores. And during the process of road widening, the road has not been widened. Rather, it has been narrowed because of the unscientific, unplanned manner of road cutting, hill cutting, digging, excavating, blasting, all these, what has been done in an unscientific manner. So road has narrowed rather. And I just want to point out one more thing, which you asked Sujata ji, that is it the biggest rescue operation? No. We have seen 2021, in 2021 in Tapovan, 204 people were trapped in the tunnel and they could not be taken out. They could not be rescued. And at that time also, it was the same headline management. On the first day, they said the tunnel has been handed over to army. And after 3 days, we came to know that the army didn't have the map of that tunnel. Then after that, it was handed over to ITBP. Then after it was handed over to NTPC. And at the end, after 2 years, 200 people could not be rescued. They died. Even their bodies were not recovered.
But my point is, Indresh, and what really intrigues me. But why are the activists not protesting?
People have been protesting. People have been asking questions. People have gone to Supreme Court.
But in this particular case, I'm talking about this particular tunnel collapse. There are 41 laborers. And are there not widespread protests regarding this, given the fact that everyone knows that the government is compromised with the safety and security?
There was even a protest outside that tunnel itself. The workers, the other workers of that project, they protested outside the tunnel. They said that the government is just experimenting with the people. Students have been protesting. There have been fasts throughout. But although it might be that they are not covered at that level.
Indresh, are these protests, have they been happening in the past almost 9 days, what you're saying, or before that?
No, there have been protests since last 9 days, and there have been questions about this project right from its inception.
No, but we haven't seen pictures. We haven't seen pictures of the protest.
No, I can even send you a picture of protest yesterday at the Garhwal University. Students of ISA, they protested, and even fasts were taken over the state itself. So there have been protests, but their voices are not recognized. We are called that we are against development, we are anti-development, and this devastating model of development is there to take lives of people, to turn this whole state into a graveyard, to turn the Himalaya into a graveyard of workers, laborers, poor people who have no voices.
Nothing can be more unfortunate than this, but what looks very clear is that the
No,
lives
can
of
I
the
add?
laborers. Yes,
Can I
yes,
add?
Sujata.
Yes,
Yeah.
the question that you asked before that, let me also tell you that an escape route was planned, but it wasn't constructed. And what is most important is there's no FIR till now against anybody. How can you wait for so long? And this is a very important thing. I don't know how I missed out on this about protest. The moment the Congress party or the CPI would protest, what is happening is that the BJP spokespersons, their ministers, they come out and they start saying that you should not do politics on this. Right now, they are not being able to take those people out. But like I said, they have managed the whole thing in such a manner that newspapers, even the local newspapers, started covering this issue so much later. I saw one whole page only after elections got over in the main Hindi newspapers over here. So this clearly means that civil society has been scared, because obviously if nobody is going to listen to you, what do you do? And when the politicians are protesting, they are told not to do politics. Well, then you do your job. Why are you not doing your job? These guys
Absolutely.
should be ashamed.
Right. I want to come for the last question to Mr. Rawat, that is it so difficult for the government to lay out the safety measures when a bunch of laborers are going inside the tunnel with the machines for drilling and digging? Is it so difficult for the government or the administration, which is there on site, to formulate these safety measures? Whether the laborers are wearing their helmets, what are the conditions in which they need to go inside the tunnel? Nothing seems to be laid out. Is that job so difficult?
Safety measures are the first. That it should be taken at that priority level, and the government is not doing. They are ignorant about this. But I have sent you forwarded you the link of one of my article. Kindly go through that.
Yes, I read it. Yes.
What is anti-government in that? What is anti-national in that? What is anti-development in that? This article was rejected by a leading newspaper of this area. One of the leading newspaper of North India, in the newspaper of India. You go. This is the mindset of our editors. This is the mindset of our media. See my article. What is wrong in that? This will appear in other newspapers. I wanted to see in the leading newspaper of this area.
Right.
Yes, but this is the problem with that, because this will affect their, business. If they publish this type of article criticizing government or pointing out mistakes of the government and all, this is it. This unfortunately this. This is the situation of today's media.
Right.
Unfortunately.
That's really unfortunate. And thank you, Indresh. You've
go through that article. Yes. Also, Indresh also.
I have read that. It's an eye-opening article. And Indresh, thank you so much. On my WhatsApp, I have received those pictures of the protest by the ISA, which happened in front of the Garhwal University. Thank you so much. We'll use those pictures, but it's really unfortunate. And the picture is very, very clear that the government has compromised with the security and the safety of these laborers who are trapped inside. We do not know whether they will come out alive or not. Hope really fades, because the government has just been giving promises that, things will become normal in about 2 days. But how many 2 days will pass off? We do not know. But apparently the message is very clear from the government that these lives do not matter for the present government. It was wonderful having all of you on the program. Thank you so much, Sujata, Indresh, and Mr. Rawat. Thank you so much. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this discussion: subscribe to our channel, send us your feedback, and stay tuned to The Federal. Thank you.
Subscribe to The Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.